Hi there folks, at the pond today. It's again one of these days that pike don't want to strike, so I'm taking a chance to make a little review upon some lures which are referred to as skim and swim lures. I came across this term in the book of lures by Charles K. Fox, issued in 1975, an American book. Mr. Fox described these lures to have a top water and an underwater action. And through the years, these became very trustful pike lures, proven catchers. This one I'm holding in my hand is called the whirligig. Is the building instruction of this lures was printed in that book. It was never available commercially, so this one must be homemade. So the term skim and swim refers to a surface action and a diving action. Alright, the whirligig casts very nice, and with rod tip manipulation you can work it on the surface. I hope you can see it on the camera, and if you reel it in a little faster, it would submerge a bit. So the closer it gets to you, the harder it will be to get it down. Okay, it walks kind of the dog on top. Reel it in, it comes back with a drunken wiggle a few inches deep. Of course, here you should also use rod tip manipulation. Through the years, I've caught quite a few pike with this lure. I'm still trusting it. For such conditions here, it's a shallow portion of the pond and there's submerged weed here. So this is a nice lure. For such a spot, you can always also work it in front of pad fields or reed lines. So it has a top water action and an underwater action. See? Hope you can see it now. It comes back maybe 6 inches deep with a kind of drunken wiggle. Alright. This is the whirligig. Must be homemade, was never commercialized. The design dates back to 1947. Alright. Here's another skim and swim lure. This is a homemade one, a knockoff of the old Lucky 13 by Haddon. Dates back to the year 1920. Also has a top water action and underwater action. Still available commercially nowadays. The original, this is a homemade knockoff. Also casts very nice. So you work it, give it a flick from the wrist and retrieve for maybe 7 to 10 feet, and then let rise again to pop it and retrieve. Dives down to 1.5 feet, maybe 1 foot, 1.5 feet. It's also a very nice lure. Lucky 13 by Haddon, still available, of plastic of course. The original is a bit larger than my own version. The secret of this lure is, we'll pop it and it will generate an explosion of air bubbles, so to call the fish to come by and investigate. I've caught a lot of pike on this lure through the past years, or on this lure model. I've put up a video on YouTube how to build it anyway, so you can check it there. Originally it's an American lure, of course, and was meant for bass, but it really works on our European pike as well. Not today. So this is another one of my skim and swim lures. Alright, started to rain now. Alright, the last one is the this is a homemade knockoff of the old bass Oreno, still available, made from wood as well, still today, by Lure Jensen, bass Oreno. It also has a top water action and a diving action. This one dives about the deepest, maybe 2 feet. But what you can use it for, I'll pull it a bit closer for you to see. Similar to the Lucky 13, you can fish it with flicks from the wrist. It won't pop as loud and it doesn't generate as many bubbles, but the secret of this lure is if you flick it, it will remain almost at one spot. So this means if you once have located a predatory fish, and you know its location, maybe underneath such bush or so, it will stay longer in the strike zone. You will just flick it, it will make some commotion on the surface, and it would stay longer in the hot zone. That's one feature only this bass Oreno has. And if you retrieve it straight, it comes back in a very pronounced wiggle. Hope you can see it now. The wiggle is stronger than the wiggle of the Lucky 13 or the whirligig. But anyway, if you want a lure that you can work on top water almost on the spot, this bass Oreno is the lure to go. Just flick it on the spot a bit and you can retrieve it. It goes down to about, well, up to 2 feet. Comes back in a pronounced wiggle. Let rise again, work again. That's the secret of all of these skim and swim lures. Always mix their features. Let them pop on the surface, let them dive, retrieve, let them pop again, or walk the surface again with the whirligig, and that should bring in the goodies. Yeah. These are skim and swim lures, a term coined by Charles K. Fox in his book of Lures. And these are my 3 favorites: the whirligig, bass Oreno, and Lucky 13. Well, I hope the camera took my little review and hope you've learned from it. And probably I'm still going to catch a fish today, but I don't think so. Weather's just too crappy for it. Okay, thanks for watching. Goodbye, folks.